on brand for Destil.
It's a lot of guys. You guys feel up to that? You're what, level 1?
Mm-hmm. They're clearly allies. Come on now.
That means we have to split the XP with them.
God, we'll never get to level 2.
It's never gonna happen.
Burkroad's like, his plan is like, let's make the level 1 to level 2 just take the longest I can possibly make it.
So, the red pawns are known to be 56 cards employees. So one of these would actually be Oswald. The other 3 are his serving peoples. Blue pawns are patrons of the inn that you guys have not been paying much attention to. These 2 green pawns are the now seized up moss caps. The pink pawns are Percival and his entourage. And...
I don't see pink pawns.
We don't see pink.
Oh, see that these ones all around this table should be pink.
No.
They're blue.
They are
This is
blue.
also yellow.
Yeah, there's one yellow and one green at this table.
Nodal said that one looked green.
This one's green.
Yeah, right, it's right here.
That one's green. This one's yellow.
They should both be green.
Wow.
Because
Nodal's colorblind.
Is that better?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I just... Okay, now they're red.
I'm so confused as to what you guys can actually see on these pawns. Because to me, I just click a button and they change color.
So, like, we see a bunch of purple things that you just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we got.
Oh, I only need 4
1,
of
2,
those.
3, 4. We're missing somebody. Who's not on the table?
That'd be Nodal, the guy who's like, move mine.
What?
It's like Nodal's always like, hey, move my thingy.
Oh yeah, that sounds like me. I was trying to figure out where my hawk was. Rick, is the front door open?
Not right this second, but there are people that are heading towards the exit because apparently
All right.
some moss caps just doubled over.
Yeah.
So,
He's out on the roof, but he's gonna try to fly in when the door opens.
Okay.
did we have a chance to go over there and do like?
Nope, right now you're at
Alexander
the table. All that's happened right now is you've heard the clatter behind you at these off-duty moss caps have doubled over. And all 5 of you are at the table here. So Florian and Lucius are sitting closest to Percival. And Gus, you have initiative. So the hawk is flying down to the door and is going to wait for it to open and then fly in?
10,
Yeah.
Okay.
15, 20. Which one of these is doubled over in pain? Are they both?
This guy is doubled over on the table.
Uh-huh.
This guy has actually, his stool has clattered out from under him and he's laying on the floor. And all of his muscles look seized up. His back is arched, his face is contorted.
I'm going to bend down and use a medicine check.
Yeah, go ahead and make that check.
Okay. That is a 14.
14. Best guess is poison.
Gus is going to yell, "Best guess is poison."
Moving or staying put?
I'm staying right here.
2 of the men approaching the door. You see this one pull out a wand and cast a spell. And then turn back to face the room. The guy behind him attempts to shove him out of the side and push the door open, but the door just clatters in place and won't open.
Does he have a badge from a guild on him, the guy that just pulled out the wand?
No. And now he's brandishing the wand and turning and facing the room. And
Second question: is he supposed to be a different color? Because those are both blue to us.
they're supposed to both be blue because you guys don't know who the enemies are. These are
Awesome.
all bar
Okay,
patrons.
great, fantastic. That's all I wanted to know. All set.
And he points over towards your table. And loudly he declares, 100 pieces of gold to the man who drags Percival penniless and turns him over to me. And there's a lot of murmuring amongst the crowd, a lot of people looking a lot of different directions. And a lot of these people are carrying... Daggers are pretty popular, a crossbow or two here and there, a couple of walking sticks that could be turned into quarterstaves. That's going to bring us to Seeker.
All right. Seeker is going to... Ah, screw it. And screw this guy.
He's going to do what to what guy?
Sorry, I'm causing a bit of a mess.
That is your job.
Yeah.
That's what you've been contracted to do.
You cause the best messes, Nodal.
Alright, first things first, I'm going to order my hawk to go look for a different entrance, like a window or something.
Okay.
And then I am going to... Do we know about the bar doors here?
Oh yeah, I'm going to assume that you guys are pretty familiar with this place, especially Lucius, who's here every night, drinking away all your money. But yeah, the bar doors back here are very visible.
Alright, then I'm going to try to grab Percival and get him over the bar and throw him through one of these doors.
Okay. He doesn't make any effort to resist, so you can go ahead and move him where you want him.
Alright, where is he?
He's in between...
These two?
Yep.
Okay. So let me count that out. And then half, because I have to move him. Yeah. I can get him right here. And I
Okay.
can open the door, but I'm assuming I can't close it on my turn.
That's fine. So you're going to help Percival jump the bar and get him into a back room.
Yeah.
And when the man sees this, he says, "An extra 20 for the freak in the robe." The Oswald's going to join you guys in this room. His serving man's going to duck down behind the counter. And these two kind of approach the bar to try to start getting a handle on things, try to calm people down. That's going to bring us to Florian.
Alright, so who is the one that's saying...
The man here in front of the door. This guy got up to leave, and when he tried to
Okay.
open the door after
guy
this
in
one
front of
cast
the
a
door.
spell, the door would not open.
Okay. So which is the one who's shouting? It's the one right in front of the door or the one to the side of the door?
This one right here. He's right in front of the door.
Okay, I'm just going to mark him as one guy.
Yeah, he's one guy. And Florian, you're up.
Florian gets up and he says, Percival Penniless will gladly double the offer so anyone gets the guy in front of the door.
Make a deception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
The problem being the man's name is Percival Penniless.
Is that not what I said?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you said.
No, it's the name itself.
It's the name
You're
itself.
saying he's penniless
The
and he's
man-
going to spend a bunch of money.
The
Oh,
man
gotcha,
is known
gotcha,
to
gotcha.
not have money.
Gotcha.
I'm sure his friends are good for it.
And my deception is a butt. Oh no, it's +2 somehow. So 7.
Hey, where are you moving or staying put as you yell this out?
He jumps up on the table.
Up on top of the table?
Yeah.
Okay. Percival's crew kind of form up a line around the table. And they start shouting back that if you want him, come and take him. And the three of them draw daggers. It's going to bring us to Lucius.
Lucius, let's see.
Oswald, after this, I have a line on some very authentic looking priest robes. Very reasonable rates.
Lucius steps forward and hands up and says, Now, fellows, we don't need this to come to blows.
So you're moving into the threat range of like 3 guys over here?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you doing as your action? Just are you like actually taking an action to try to convince these
I'm gonna
people
dodge.
to not dodge?
I'm gonna
That's
dodge instead.
probably a
Yeah.
pretty good action to take.
Yeah.
Alexander.
So Alex is gonna move up the stairway a bit.
So if you go up these stairs, you're going up to the 2nd floor of the tap house, where if this were an inn, you would go up and find rented rooms. What's actually up there are some private quarters for Oswald and some like kind of fakey temple stuff. But he doesn't actually rent out rooms.
Where's all like the gambling stuff? Is just done at the tables, not like
Oh
a
yeah,
big
just
deal?
down at the tables. There's a high stakes room back here.
If I move, does this have like a high railing or a banister or anything? Like if I
Sure.
move up here, do I still have? Okay.
Yeah, you can move up. There's a banister.
It looks like that's actually the top end of the stairs that you just walked down there.
Yeah. 'cause
Oh,
that-
this continues up. No,
So-
I
Oh,
think
it
you're right.
goes-
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you're
stairs
right,
start
it
over
starts
here and go up.
Yeah. Okay. Changes my plans a little bit.
That's why I dragged him over here.
Yeah. No, I would have liked to get him upstairs, but that's good call.
Uh-huh. So if you're
25
wondering,
gets
why
me
did you
to the top of the bar,
Okay, you're climbing up on the bar.
Yep.
love the top?
and Alex pulls a small stone out of his alchemist kit. He touches it to a rail bolted onto the bottom of his crossbow. It seems to stick there as if by magnetism. And then a random plate. Anything weighing less than 5 pounds on this table flies towards that guy as he fires the stone, and it kind of creates this kinetic wave of force. So he gets to make a DC 15 dexterity save.
15.
Sounds like a pass.
Failed save.
Yeah,
On a
that's a
failed
pass.
save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. What happens on a successful save?
Probably nothing.
I think it just destroys. Okay, so the plate hits the door and takes, because he dodged it.
That's a lot of damage you just did to that plate.
Well, the door.
It does damage to the plate regardless. The plate takes 12 damage.
The door has damage resistance because it's a door. The plate takes
Yeah, the door
12
also
damage.
takes 12 damage.
The plate is destroyed.
Okay.
And now there's a lot of attention focused on you as well. And you're staying put up there on the bar?
That was my full turn. Yep.
Let's have Tony Hawk make an active perception check.
Let's roll it. He's good at it. It's why I picked him. 15.
15? I'll say there's no downstairs windows here.
Yeah.
And assuming he doesn't want to come down the chimney.
Right.
But he's able to locate an upstairs window.
All right.
So go ahead and place him
And-
wherever along these walls he is upstairs, and then we can move him down from there.
All right.
So when he comes
I'll
down,
just-
he'll be flying down the stairs.
Yeah. I'll just say that he comes in like it's like a front window, and then he has to fly around.
Okay.
So that'll be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, dash. He'll get to like
can't-
right here.
He can't dash because he used an active perception.
Oh, right. Okay, so he's like right at the top of the stairs.
Okay. You hear him
And,
flapping around up there.
And he relays back to me that there's an open window upstairs, which I say to Alexander under my breath.
10 feet away, if he said something under your breath with the clamor going on around,
I
he's not
figure
going to hear you.
everyone. Okay, can everyone within 10 feet hear me? And then like, but I'm not like shouting over the room.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind the people nearby hearing me. I just
Okay.
don't want one guy to hear it.
Gotcha. That's going to bring us to Gus.
All right.
Gustavus.
5, 10, 10, 15, 20.
So you're leaving this
No, but
guy's threat range.
They don't have anything to. They haven't been told to attack me yet, have they?
No, but you're leaving his threat range, yes?
Yes.
I have a 7 to hit you.
That does not hit me.
As you walk past this guy, he pulls a dagger and tries to stand in your way for getting to Wand Guy. Slashes out at you. You briefly sidestep, manage to get safely to Wand Guy.
Okay. I'm going to grab
me to-
one guy.
Do you want me to change the colors of known hostiles?
Yes, please.
Please.
Does he appear black now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There you go.
You know what I think it might be? I think when you change the color, when you copy and paste that, it doesn't copy and paste the color.
Is that guy blue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then tabletop has a stupid bug. Well, we knew that already. What? Something janky in tabletop simulator. Go ahead and make a.
At least we understand it now.
Yeah, go ahead and make a grapple check.
All right.
You can probably get away with this.
Nope.
No?
I rolled a 1.
So the problem
Well,
is,
so-
like, this guy has a plan to hold this room until he gets Percival. And when you were going to try to grab him, he's anticipating you.
I mean, that's
He
a total of
grins at you.
7, but it's a 1.
I mean, I got better than a 7. I just figured you could do better than that.
I mean, listen, I'm not playing Birdie. I can't, like, just magically get 15 to 20 on every strength roll I make.
How did you do that the entire campaign? Nobody knows. Moving or staying put?
I mean, I'm staying put.
Okay.
Shitty kobold's gonna shitty kobold.
It's true. I need Alexander to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. It's an 11.
An 11. Please take 7 points of radiant damage.
Mm-hmm.
As one guy points his wand in your direction, and a flame-like radiance descends on you. This one guy burns you with magical fire. And he's doing this in part because he wants to hinder your actions, but he's also attempting to convince the room that he's the guy to side with here.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this guy is going to try to stab you. I have a 19 to hit. For 2 points of piercing damage. From dagger blocking wand guy. This guy's going to jump the counter and provoke an attack of opportunity from the barkeep, who misses. Many people are moving back and away from the commotion. So, I wonder if I can change the colors of all of these guys at once. This guy steps forward to engage, as does this guy, as does this guy, and this guy, and this guy.
Those all work.
Okay.
Some of the men push away from the table and start backing to the far end of the room. Some of them are armed. Some of them pull knives and daggers, or some of them heft their walking sticks. But not menacingly so, just kind of in self-defense, to see if this fight gets brought to them. As of now, though, you guys seem like you might be outnumbered. Seeker, you're blocking the entrance into this room back here, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I need a strength check from you.
All right. That's not my thing.
No.
Yeah, that's a -1.
-1. Alright, so you are grappled by this man.
We
Alexander,
are not.
I need the same check.
It's another -1.
-1. You are grappled by this man. And he pulls you down off of the counter. Seeker and Alex, you're both pushed prone. Lucius, let's get a strength check from you.
Oh no!
I am
it's
dodging.
contagious.
Does that affect things or?
Yes, he has to roll disadvantage.
Okay. I have a 5.
A 5? That's
Mm-hmm.
better than his 2.
Oh, good.
And when he sees that you're going to be more difficult to grab, he goes for his knife.
Okay.
2 of them are attacking some of Percival's people. And where did Florian get off to?
He's on the table.
I'm on the table.
On the table. None of the bad guys have made it to the table just yet. That's going to bring us to
correct.
Seeker.
All right. I am thrown down to the ground,
Mhm.
and I'm just going to reach out with my left hand and scrawl a quick constellation in the air, and then 3 bolts of force are going to ram into this guy on top of me.
Okay. Real quick.
Yeah.
The only time you can make a damaging attack and declare it to be non-lethal is if you're using a melee weapon. You can't do it with a ranged or a spell attack.
All right, that guy tried to set Gustavus on fire.
That's true. Well, this
No,
guy
Alexander.
this guy back here tried to set.
Yeah, but these guys are working with him.
Okay.
That ship has sailed, as far as Seeker is concerned.
Okay.
That's 8 force damage.
I mean, to be fair, that
yeah.
plate was exactly non-lethal, but
You kill him.
And then Seeker's going to stand back up.
Okay. And the first death in this bar brawl was you guys.
Self-defense. I don't want to hear it.
You can make that claim to the moss caps. Moving or staying put, Seeker?
Yes, the poisoned moss caps.
Seeker's staying put.
Okay. It's going to bring us to... This one's going to try to... This bar wench here is going to try to pull this guy up off of Alexander. Except I drop my dice on the ground, as you do. Unfortunately, to no avail. But Alex, you are getting some kind of assistance.
mm-hmm.
This one's going to try to grab the other guy. And doesn't. Are you blocking the bar people from entering the room?
No.
Okay. So what you're seeing in here is Oswald and his other barkeep back here. First of all, they're just making sure, right now it looks like they're making sure that Percival hasn't been harmed in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically just telling him, stay put in here, we'll take care of this.
Alright.
And that's going to bring us to Florian.
Well, Florian has tried to end this peacefully, so I got magic missiles with this guy's name on it.
Okay.
3 of them,
Okay.
because apparently I can cast 3 with 1 spell.
Uh-huh.
And he just takes this damage,
Yeah.
which is fun. It's a 1, a 1, and a 2, because of course it is. So that is 3, 5, 7 damage.
Well, you didn't have it to roll poorly on.
Right.
So the dice karma is gonna have to come from somewhere.
I mean,
You start
supposed
firing missiles across the room, and everybody starts backing off a little bit more. You can't tell whether it's because they don't want to be involved in this fight, or if it's because they can't tell who you're going to fire missiles at next. Things are kind of chaotic right now. Are you moving or staying put?
These stairs basically go like this, right?
They go up
run
and then they
this
turn
way,
around
they
the
go
corner.
up. Yeah, so I can't like run to the stairs.
No, that was my plan.
Okay.
Didn't work.
All right.
You have full movement. I'll say maybe you could jump up and grab the banister and hoist yourself up.
No, I gotta do that. I gotta do like an opportunity attack, and
Yeah,
That's the whole thing.
yeah,
it's a whole thing.
I need to not take damage. So
All right, well, let me know how that goes for you.
no, it's good. I'll back up So hop off the table.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Right there. And that will be Florian's turn.
Okay. Percival, looking very worried, moves over to his couch. And his 3 guys are engaged here. And none of them hit. This one's also trying... This guy on top of Alexander must be a brute, because 2 men are trying to pull him off, and to no avail. That's going to bring us to Lucius.
Okay. Lucius is very unhappy with what's going on right now.
Why? I can't imagine why.
Because these guys just roll in here and ruin my favorite watering hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so... No, the wand guy, he's about to get blasted with an Eldritch Blast.
Wow. He didn't even do nothing to you.
He's the one who's calling out threats.
I mean, he did like offer to pay 20 gold for them to kill Seeker, so you know.
That's a 10 to hit,
10 does not hit.
and it strikes the wall behind him.
It does.
Lucius says,
The
"You have
door rattles.
one more chance," and then Lucius shouts to him, "You have one chance to stand down. Don't squander it.
Moving or staying put?
Staying put."
Okay, it's going to bring us to Alexander. You are grappled and laying prone on the ground.
So it would be disadvantage to try and hit this guy with a ranged attack, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's within 5
Yeah,
feet.
Alexander kind of desperately reaches through his alchemist supplies, pulls a small flask, and loads it into his crossbow as well as he can, while restrained, and then fires it point blank in the guy's face.
You're not restrained,
So-
you're just grappled.
Right, that was narratively restrained.
Okay.
Sorry. That'll hit an armor class of 13.
That does it.
For 5 cold damage.
Okay. And he is bloodied. And looking very, very cold as well.
I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any
Good.
bonus actions or anything.
Bring us to Tony Hawk.
All right, Tony Hawk is going to flap his way off the banister
Mm-hmm.
down, and God, that's not tenable. Screw it. He's going to. You're the one who makes Eldritch Blasts, right?
Yeah.
Right, Lucius?
Yep.
He's going to instead eye his way down the stairs and attempt to just flap in one guy's face, trying to aid Lucius in taking a shot.
Okay.
I mean, I'm next, but yeah, okay.
Oh, in your face then, if you're next. Gustavus is.
Gustavus is right now.
You're up, Gustavus.
Well, Gus is going to pull out his hammer. He's going to look at the one guy and he says, "You made the mistake of, not following the ancient desert wisdom of don't start none, there won't be none, and hit him with my hammer."
All right, you're rolling at advantage because Tony Hawk is flapping at him.
Okay.
Kill him because I don't want to lose my hawk. He's precious to me.
That is a 24 to hit.
24 does hit.
Right. Okay.
Ancient desert wisdom of don't start nothing, don't be nothing.
So that is 11. No. Yeah, 11 points of bludgeoning damage. As
And he is bloodied. You bring the hammer down on him. Are you moving or staying put?
No, I'm staying right here. I'm happy here. This is
Okay.
my spot now.
He casts a spell and goes invisible.
We're all too low level to counterspell anyway.
Vanishes from sight. I know, that's why I didn't give anybody a chance to do it. Florian. A man bursts out of the privy.
Okay.
With a dagger in hand.
That is very rude.
and tries to
Who
grapple
takes
you.
a dagger with them into the privy?
That sounds dangerous.
A guy whose boss says, "Hey, go into the privy. When I get everybody's attention, you can come up and grab Percival from behind because this is the table he's sitting at."
Yeah.
And then heard you approach the privy door. I'm going to need a strength check from you. You got to roll really good on this.
All right. I'm sure my 7th strength is really going to help me here.
That's what we said about Birdie, and then look what happened.
Seeker has been known to take a dagger into the privy.
That is a 2.
A 2, yeah, you're grappled, and he wrestles you to the ground.
Oh. 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 This is unbecoming.
Gustavus,
Yep.
I got Dagger Man on you.
All right.
How does an 18 do?
18 does not hit.
Really?
Right.
The hell is your armor class?
19.
How?
I have a shield on. I'm wearing heavy armor. Took the armored fighting style.
Oh, okay. I see how it's going to be.
Right.
Lucius, what's your armor class?
Pretty butts.
Yeah, that's a lot better for me. How does a 13 do?
That hits.
Nice. 6 points of dagger damage.
Okay.
As he sees it's impossible to grab you and wrestle you down, he's going to do the next best thing. Yeah, this one on top of Alexander, he's bloodied and real chilly, and he's going to not take any more chances with you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 19 to hit you
Yeah, that makes it through my armor.
for 2 points of dagger damage.
I am at 0.
These two men are engaged with Penniless's crew. One of them scores a hit. And this man on Penniless's side is now bloodied. And you can't see where one guy went. Gus, what's your active perception?
Oh, my active? You want me to make an active?
I'm sorry, your
perception?
passive. Not your active. Your passive.
8.
8.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear footfalls after one guy goes invisible, but it's impossible to tell where he actually went. You're so distracted by getting stabbed by this man, by dagger blocking one guy.
He didn't stab me.
He tried. It's going to bring us to Seeker.
It was a
All
little
right. Seeker, what way does this door open?
Which way do you need it to open to do the thing you want to do?
I want outwards into the room.
That's exactly how it opens. Good guess.
Yeah. He's going to close the door
Mhm.
and then toss whatever the heck this heavy-looking object is on the map over in front of it.
So you're going to drag this like wooden table in front of the door?
Yeah.
Okay, that you can do that as an action. And moving or staying put?
I am going to stay put.
Okay, that's going to bring us to the bar folks. This guy wrenches Alex free. So, Alex, you're now grappled
Mm-hmm.
by the barman. Other barman's going to swing his, I don't know, wooden spoon and miss. Which will bring us back to Florian.
I'm debating which spell I want to use.
Okay.
I can use a spell, right? Yeah, I can use a spell.
Yeah.
Even though I'm grappled.
Yeah, you sure can.
Um,
Restrained is the one you got to watch out for.
yeah.
But even restrained, I don't think hinders spellcasting much.
Let's magic missile the guy right on me.
Okay,
Point blank.
do it.
That is much, much better. That is a 13.
Oh yeah, he's dead. You've murdered
Good.
him.
Self-defense.
Let's go ahead and delete that guy.
No, that's murder, because there's just no need for that.
And moving or staying put?
Florian stands up.
Okay.
And... yeah, that's it.
Can I call to one of Percival's boys here that Alex has a potion on his belt?
Oh man, free potion. Thanks.
Mhm.
That's gonna bring us
Save the
to,
vial!
Save the vial!
Percival's people. Yeah, you call that out, but right now they're more interested in trying to fight these two guys.
That's fine.
One of them
I was more busy too.
lands a hit against this guy with his dagger, and he is now bloodied. This guy is going to disengage and work his way back into the corner.
Smart.
Because he does not want to be murdered. It's going to bring us to Lucius.
All right. I'm gonna disengage
Okay.
and go back into the back of the corner here.
That's it.
Well, I can't search one of these guys because my idea right now is to see if if either of these guys has pixie powder on him to try and catch this guy who's gone invisible.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have an action because I had to disengage.
Search one of the moss caps, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that as an action on your next turn.
Okay.
Alex.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a death save, I think.
Yep. That's a 12.
12. Okay, that's a pass. And that's going to bring us back to Tony Hawk.
Alright. Tony is going to, it worked out pretty well from the past. He's going to flap over and help out Gustavus here.
Okay. That's going to bring us to Gus.
I mean, I'm going to look at this man, and then I'm going to go and shrug at him, and then I'm going to hit him with my hammer.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
No speech for this guy.
He's that important wand man.
Okay, that is a 23
Yeah,
to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay. For a total of 6 bludgeoning damage.
And he is bloodied. Moving or staying put?
I'm going to move in front of the door here and block the entrance.
Okay.
Like, because it appears like there are no other entrances.
No, that's the main entrance out onto the street.
Right. Unless that visible man ran upstairs.
Slip it into that.
Anyway, is he going to take his...
Oh, yeah, he will. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Tony!
That's why you never remind the teacher that she forgot to assign homework.
6 points of dagger damage as you leave his threat range.
All right, cool.
Is it cool?
Yeah, I'm bloody. Good
You are
job.
bloodied. Okay. And now it's the bad guy's turn. He's going to finish things off. This 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy here tosses his dagger to the floor, and he shouts to the men around him and says, "It's not worth it. The boss is gone." And he holds his hands out. This man and this man lay down their weapons. This one just kind of turns to look over at Lucius very suspiciously. The one at the door, however, has decided that he and Gustavus are in a knife fight to the death.
I have a hammer.
He's got a knife, though, so to him it's a knife fight.
This is what you get for bringing a knife fight to a hammer fight.
I have a 21 to hit
That hits.
for 2 points of dagger damage.
Gustavus is like, ow, quit it.
Knock it off. What are you doing? That's going to bring us to Seeker.
Alright. So who has thrown their dagger down of these 5?
The one who's bloodied has the man on either side of him. This guy in the middle of the room is looking at Lucius suspiciously because Lucius is near to the moss caps. The one at the door either didn't hear him say anything or is just so focused on Gustavus at this point as to make no difference. Most of the other men in the room are are watching at this point. Nobody else looks interested enough to actually join the fray. Considering there's already a couple of dead bodies of these assailants.
All right, I'm gonna try to end the fight then, and use Toll the Dead on dagger blocking wand guy.
What kind of save is that?
That is a wisdom save.
I have a 13.
That's no good.
All right.
And he has taken damage,
He's-
so I'm gonna roll the big orange die.
Yeah, he's a minion. He's dead. There's no way you can't kill him.
All right, good to hear.
And you ring his bell, and he drops to the floor. Moving.
And then I'm gonna stay put.
Okay. Is there more hostility forthcoming from any of you guys? I guess we should go at least to Lucius's turn here. The two barmen step forward and kind of manhandle these two guys. Which brings us to Florian. What does Florian do?
I want one more spell slot.
You can spend 6 blips and get a spell slot back.
I don't have six blips.
Then you can't
so
do that.
I can't do that. Florian is going to assist the bar peeps
Okay.
with the manhandling and the shoving and making sure that they're subdued.
And those two being pretty much well in hands, Percival's men move towards the last two. This one is given up. This one is fighting off Percival's man, though, and they kind of get into a tussle. Lucius,
Yes.
you're up.
Lucius shouts out across the room for anybody who's got some medicine or might have some medicine or anti-venom on them.
Okay. What's your action? You had an action in mind last round, which is why I'm asking.
Yeah, and I'm changing my mind on that. Actually, you don't know. Lucius looks to goes over this guy's form looking for pixie powder.
And yeah, you do find it. Most moss caps carry it. It's in a pouch around his belt.
I am going to lob it up the stairs on that landing.
How does it work exactly?
It works basically like a mild fairy fire effect.
Okay.
It scatters powder into a particular area, and if it prevents people from going invisible.
Okay.
And you're
So
lobbing
I'm
it.
gonna lob it up
What's-
onto this landing right here.
Okay. Make it a hit roll.
Ugh. That's a 5 to hit.
5 to hit.
Yeah.
The powder lands on the landing with a thud. And there's powder
Damn.
everywhere up there now.
Okay.
Brings us back to Alexander.
So 1 on a death save.
That's not good.
2 fails.
No, it's 1 fail. I made the first one.
No, it's 2 fails. You rolled a 1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Are you
Roll
sure?
1.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember that rule at all.
It's an optional rule, I think.
Is it?
I know some
Yeah.
DMs do it that way, but I don't think the book does.
I
I
think
thought
it's
it was 20. You get automatically up when you take 2 death saves.
20, you
that's an
definitely
optional
get
rule.
automatically up. You
Yeah,
take 2
that's a
death
core
saves
rule.
if you take damage while you're unconscious.
Nodal is right. That is definitely a thing that is written in the book, but I think it is an optional rule.
It like a DMG thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember what book it's in, but I know
I'm
that
just
that
gonna look
is
up
I'm not
Keep
seeing
going.
It.
I'll look. It shouldn't matter.
Failing a death save is bad enough. Is anybody going to help
Yeah.
Alexander in the next few seconds? Because hostilities are more or less ceased by this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna help him out.
Okay.
I'm gonna help him out. Alex, enjoy a healing potion. You look like you're taking death saves down there. And then I'm going to point into the room where I know the barman is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him a message. I'm gonna say the man wielding the wand has gone invisible. I'll let you out once we know what happened to him.
Oh,
Okay.
It is not an optional rule.
No, it's right here, page 197 of the player's handbook.
Really?
When you make a death saving throw and roll a 1 on the d20, it counts as 2 failures.
I
Is that
should.
2D? Is that 2d4 plus 1 Nodal?
Yeah.
2.
I think it's 2d4 plus 2.
It should have been a lot easier to kill you guys in the previous few campaigns. Then
You can always house rule it
I could.
that it's a 1.
Sure, I sure could.
Just
Some
throw
of
that
the-
out there.
Like,
I'm sorry, guys.
listen, consistency isn't. That's twice in this session alone. One of us should have kept our mouth.
I assumed Ricky knew.
I mean, how often do you
Never-
roll 1 on a death save, though? Let's
I've
be
done it
honest.
twice, and I
Have
took
you
2 death
met
failures
me?
both times.
5%.
Have you seen me roll over the past 4 years?
Alexander pockets the potion, or the vial.
Of course
Yeah.
he does. So they
and
round up.
starts scanning the room.
They round up the assailants in the corner by the stairs, and a couple of the guys try to start getting the door open. But Gustavus, being close to the door, it's become apparent that it's magically sealed shut. It's not locked or barred by any means. It's just a spell has been placed on it to lock it.
Are the people in the tavern willing to take orders?
Depends
Do
on
we
what the
think
orders
they
are.
went upstairs?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I have
I'm gonna-
the...
Hey, I want to grab the other thing of pixie powder from the other moss cap.
Okay, you grab it.
I have the... Hey, everyone. I shout out towards the room. Everyone hold our arms and walk across the room. Otherwise, that guy who's invisible with the dagger could stab anyone.
And you get
I'm
like,
gonna-
moderate compliance. Some of the people in the room begin worrying at the door some more. A few people like put their arms out kind of quizzically and take a few steps. A few people, when they hear that they might get stabbed by an invisible man, a couple people jump over the bar. There are people that hide under tables. One or two
As long as
guys
I
yells
can get
back
my-
about how you're not the boss of them.
Yeah.
All right.
How many do I get? Anyone?
Make a charisma persuasion check.
Alright.
When Seeker does that, Florian starts casting a ritual.
Okay.
He's casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
Detect magic won't work.
Yeah.
Alexander's going to move upstairs and try and do an investigate to see if we can figure out, or perception to try and track this guy down upstairs if he moved up there.
Make a perception check. Anybody who's going upstairs to look.
And I'm going to be smoking a cigarette, so it's going to take 2 actions. I'm going to guidance it.
That's fine.
I'm gonna
That's a 10 on charisma.
bring him up
Okay.
to give him back. Bring him back up there.
You don't get enough compliance to sweep the whole room.
Yeah.
How do our perception checks go?
It's a 10 on wisdom.
It's only that's a 1.
If only we had a hawk, a flying creature. That
Oh
had
no,
really...
don't worry. I haven't had much time yet. That's next.
Going upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
you don't find him. You don't hear him anywhere.
Mhm.
But you do find one of the side rooms. A room that would be over top the tap room.
Yep.
Where there is one of the serving... a young serving girl is kind of pressed back up against the door. And she seems very afraid when you come up the stairs and she sees that you're looking around. She blurts out, she points to the window. It's the damnedest thing, a bird flew to the window. I ran to close it. I ran to shut the shutters tight. And when I stepped away, they blew open again.
He's on the street.
Yeah, he's gone.
And what are the next 10 minutes like in the bar?
Alex comes down, and sees Seeker doing this. He's out. He got through one of the windows upstairs.
Seeker shrugs. Says none in here. And Seeker will begin moving the
Are the
overturned
moss caps
object.
still alive? Where did I go?
They're poisoned. Seeker was doing what?
Just moves the overturned object so that everyone can get out of the tiny room there behind the bar.
Okay. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, it becomes clear like the most pressing concern is that nobody can get this door open.
There's a window open upstairs if
Are there-
anyone wants to go out.
Are these
I've got rope.
windows?
There are upstairs
open?
windows, but none on the bottom
Okay.
floor.
All right.
I've got rope if anyone needs to get out for whatever medical reason or just because they're scared.
Are they condition poisoned or damage poisoned?
Condition.
Okay.
They're seized up and contorted. They're in some pain. They can't really move or speak.
But
They've-
healing wouldn't help them.
They've
It's just
clearly been poisoned.
Gus will lay them out and like prop their heads up with their jackets and make them comfortable.
Oh, you're not making them comfortable.
I mean, as comfortable as you can make somebody who's contorted in obvious, excruciating, like life-damaging pain.
Confiscate all the gold on them.
Okay.
That
couple-
belongs to us now.
A couple of the bar patrons head upstairs where they hear there's an open window and take their chances lowering themselves out of it. A few minutes after that, there's banging on the door from the outside as moss caps are trying to get in. And then Florian's spell goes off. And you detect your guys' magic. And the door
Get the
is
hell out of here.
glowing brightly with abjuration magic.
Abjuration magic. Okay.
Do we stay here and deal with the moss caps, or do we bugger off too?
The moss caps are banging at the door, demanding to be let in.
Oh, we're
Alex
here
will go.
3 hours.
Yeah, Alex will go up to the window and yell, "It's magically sealed."
Okay, not Percival. Oswald is also at the door. And there's some static between Oswald and the moss caps outside. Oswald's like, the door's magically closed and we didn't do it. And the moss cap's like, you're full of shit. Going back and forth through the door right now.
It's abjuration magic.
Yeah, Alexander's leaning out the window now,
Just-
yelling that down to them. There's a rope also that they can climb up.
Yeah.
One of the moss caps, when the rope is lowered, gets into the room that way.
Yeah, 2 of your men have been poisoned. They're not in good shape.
So one of the moss caps that enters, again, these are men you don't recognize. These are on-duty ones that have been flagged down on the street. One of them is tending to the two moss caps on the ground. The other one is more worried about getting the door open. And he asks if anybody in the room has a way to dispel the lock.
Nope.
So let me get this straight. 2 wizards, a warlock, and an artificer, and none of you took dispel magic.
It's a
Magic's
level
third
3
level
spell.
nerd.
Spell.
Aw, that's too bad.
I got level 3 spells at like level 12 or something.
One of the moss caps leaves. He's going to have to go get more assistance to dispel the lock from the other side. Over the course of the next few minutes, next 10 or 15 minutes or so, a couple other bar patrons leave through the upstairs window. One of the serving men is up there helping people who want to go. Percival hasn't left the room, but he's kind of standing in the doorway, kind of monitoring everything. His other men are both worrying about their wounded friend. And the remaining moss cap has started to turn his attention to the 4 assailants. What's everybody doing at this moment?
Gus,
Alex is monitoring
Lucius.
people coming in and out of the window.
Okay.
Gus is
Lucius is
standing. Go ahead.
Lucius is explaining to the guy who's inside here what happened. That guy magicked the door shut, and trying to give him the best description he possibly can.
Okay. What is Gus doing?
So,
Standing over these guys threateningly.
Threateningly?
You're right.
They're not bound in any way, but they're done fighting. They look very unsure and a little confused. And the moss cap is grilling them about who their boss is and where they should look. And it kind of becomes apparent that none of them have those answers. These are just hired thugs. What is Seeker doing?
Seeker's trying to convince the barkeeper to hire them to look into who attacked his bar.
Good looking out.
He gestures over to the moss caps, like, isn't this what the moss caps are for?
Oh, you mean the moss caps who were preventing anyone from going into your business earlier? Do you think they have your best interest at heart?
Make a
Not
persuasion
like us.
check. What about Flowbots? What is Flowbots doing?
Flowbots is walking around very casually trying to detect other magic. Even though we all know it's going to be completely fruitless.
Yeah, there's nothing else magical
But-
as you're wandering around. Just
Florian is fascinated.
the door
Nonetheless.
is the most magical thing in the room right now.
Yeah. But
That's a 12.
12. You don't get a definitive answer of whether or not they're going to hire you for this task.
Yeah.
However, mentioning the moss caps that were trying to kind of hassle the business earlier, he says, if it's the moss caps' official stance that this place is a temple and not a bar, then these men are guilty of assaults on the clergy, are they not?
That sounds right to me.
I would say yeah.
And he seems to be mulling this over. And after a moment, he goes over to speak with Oswald about it. After about another 20 minutes or so, the magic on the door fades and is opened as one of the Mosscap wizards comes around, who can actually cast Dispel magic, like a real wizard should be able to do. My goodness.
If you wanted a real wizard, you should have gotten someone else.
Yeah, you should have given us higher levels to start with, Rickard, if you wanted us to be able to knock the spell down.
I don't want you to knock the spell down. I think the encounter was much more tense with the doors shut.
Dude locks the doors, we just pop it back open. Say, nerd.
Get wrecked, scrub.
Well, what level's knock?
I want to say it's 2.
Yeah, I think so.
But nobody ever takes knock.
Oh, yeah, that's likely in this room.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think I might get knocked for free.
Nice.
The 4 men are taken into custody, and as the Mosscaps are taking them out, these 2 Mosscaps start to come around after 20 minutes or so after they first fell over. They attest to their drinks having not tasted any different. They have no clue what happened. However, during the scuffle, they were cognizant of what was going on. Their eyes were still open, and they could hear, and they, and most of the other bar patrons too, bear witness to who in the room stood in defense, got Percival to safety, and tried to bring the assailants down, basically backing up your stories.
Lucius does return to the man his vial of pixie powder.
Okay.
Tried to get at them with the man who ran off invisible, but I missed.
And
Sorry.
the Mosscap tells you, nah, this is good thinking. Before the Mosscaps leave with these 4 men in tow, Oswald makes sure to make a big show about how this was an attack on a holy temple.
Yep.
And affront to Noribo, the goddess of chance. And
Absolutely.
he hopes that the king of Dunfoss, the crown, and the Mosscaps will take this as seriously as a man in position of this station is afforded. And you can tell as he's trying to sound kind of official and priestly, but he's getting some words wrong.
Yeah.
But the
I
Mosscaps
love
take
this
the
guy.
4 men out. About half of the bar returns back to their drinking. About half of the bar is let out, so it's much quieter in here after all the excitement is now over. And that's when Percival finally comes back out and immediately moves over to his wounded man. He's not in any mortal danger, but he's taken a knife cut and they're binding it up for him.
And Lucius kind of limps back over to Percival and the others. He took a pretty nasty stab too.
Gus leans over to Seeker and he kind of says, "How should we build this?"
He doesn't have any money. I'm trying to find us a better client.
It doesn't have to be money. He's got how nicely dressed is he?
Percival penniless?
Yes.
I mean, he's penniless.
Guy who
No,
put penniless
so-
into his name.
He wears the garb of his former nobility, but he's been wearing pretty much the same outfit or so for, years. He was disowned years ago.
What? Has he bathed?
Well, yeah.
The
The
does he
clothes get
stink?
washed periodically, but they're very old and very worn, and they've been repaired many times. So it's almost a mockery of what would pass as the garb of nobility. It's also considerably out of fashion.
I'd get him to pay us an information, but this is Percival. I think the Tiefling did it, penniless.
Maybe he knows something about that servant we were looking into.
The Seeker just kind of throws up his hands. We might as well get something out of him.
As you
Maybe
guys
they
are
wanna
kind of confiding to each other in the side, Oswald comes back around.
Oswald, good looking out. You want me to teach you some priestly words?
He looks very suspicious over his shoulder as the moss caps are leading the men out. And he casts the same kind of suspicious glance over to Percival Penniless. He says, how much for you to find that wizard and bring him to me? Before the moss caps find him.
Gus
500
puts
gold.
his hand over Florian's mouth before it comes out. Just boop, right over his mouth. He's like 500 gold.
We'd start with a retainer of 50 gold pieces, though, since this is somewhat taking the law into our old hands, we're going to have to double our standard retainer for man capture and go to 100.
Lucius,
In terms of...
what is Lucius's tab at this place?
Lucius doesn't.
It got
wanna
bought
chat.
by Choreo Fireblood.
Yeah, it doesn't have a tab currently.
There we go.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, retainer would be 100 for dangerous work like this. Then probably depends on the amount of time and effort it takes, but you'd be looking at somewhere between 750 and 2,000. I really doubt it'll be on the higher end.
Oswald lets you finish. Then he says, I'll give you 20 now and 20 more if you can deliver him alive before the moss caps find him.
50 after we catch him.
Seeker was just gonna say 50 to start, so he just looks over once he says 50.
Oswald asks, many of you are his good friends, especially Lucius,
Right.
and he definitely appreciates your custom. And he knows
Yeah.
that you all have capabilities, but are you maybe perhaps overstating those capabilities a little bit? I mean, after all, the Mosscaps had to send out for a man to open his door.
The Mosscaps sent out for a man to open up the door because that was the only way they could think of to solve the problem. We had everyone out of here 10 minutes ago through a rope.
He says 20 now and 20 more if you can bring me the wizard. Otherwise, he's got other avenues he can look into. He thinks 2,000 is definitely too extravagant a price.
Oh
for
yeah,
this.
Alright.
no one was paying attention when he was saying 2,000 gold.
Well then.
20
I
now,
guess-
20 when we bring him back, and you come get us if our friend here starts gambling too much.
Your friend Lucius?
Yeah.
Says, Lucius has lost a lot of money here over the years.
Yep.
In fact, recently his bar tab was bought out. Someone came in and inquired about the debt.
Yeah, thank you for selling that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
He tells you that the wizard, he doesn't know the man's name, but he knows that he's been in here periodically. And he didn't think much of it because so many people come in all the time. But the man is a kind of semi-regular, and so is Percival, and now that he thinks about it, he thinks the man's been in here the same nights that Percival has.
Have you noticed any guild patches on him at any time? Because he wasn't wearing one tonight, but that doesn't mean he wasn't wearing one previous visits.
He says he assumed he was a cobblestone wizard, and he tries to keep tabs on people that come in to his establishment that use magic. The cobblestone wizards are hedge wizards. Typically they do cantrips, they do street magic, little entertaining stuff where they put their hat out. Basically, it's a guild for wizards that can't afford to be in any of the other guilds. There's not really a central authority of them in the city. There's not really a leader, but someone somewhere has to have a roster of who they are because they are officially licensed wizards within the city.
Would that be something that the signers have?
No.
Okay.
You'd have to find a cobblestone wizard and shake them down and work from there. He knows that the man has plied his trade in Broken Wall, which is all the way on the other side of the city.
Guess
Just
that's a good
because
place to start.
when a wizard starts poking around in here, he... Actually, this is probably work one of you guys might have done in the past for him. He likes to keep tabs on people that he thinks might be important, which to him includes anybody that uses magic. So it's possible that in the past he's slipped you a few gold pieces to tail somebody and find out a little bit about them.
Okay.
And he does. He hands over 20 gold pieces and says another 20 if you get him back to me before the mouse caps find him.
All right.
Anything
Well,
else you guys want to
Twilight,
do in the
standing
56 cards tonight?
No.
I mean-
Base guys.
Get blasted drunk.
Get blasted.
No, we have work to do.
Okay, get like
Get
just
none
before
drunk.
blasted drunk.
Well, see,
Get none drunk.
Like, are you gonna wrestle hit me out of the bar? I think I could take you. But I'll
I
go.
think-
It's fine.
So all 5 of you are
Passes
going...
you the second drink he ordered.
It's
Before
like
you go.
it's like you guys like you just guilted me into not drinking, and I'm like super sorry, salty about it.
Are all 5 of you going to chase down this lead tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who actually took the money?
Oh, Seeker did.
Okay.
He doesn't. He has now come to the realization that maybe 1 out of 4 of the rest of them have any concept of what money is,
Like Gus used to be a mercenary, so he kind of
and they're now going to have a PowerPoint discussion on this is what things cost.
Okay. So, real quick.
Let me throw something out there first.
Yeah.
Do we want to go back to the barge to A, take a short rest so you can use that, what's it called? Hit die you have before we head out, Gus? And also, I'm going to grab one of the potions from storage.
Yeah, you
to
guys
replace the
can...
one that I drank.
You guys can stop by the barge if you need to beforehand.
yeah.
A short rest would be appropriate here.
short rest. Absolutely.
So the story of Broken Wall, whether or not you guys spend a lot of time in this district, is pretty well known. The walls of Dunfoss are ancient. They've stood for many, many years, and little villages would kind of get built up around the outside of the wall. And there was a section of town where Gnome Town stands outside of the Gnome Town gate. And there was a temple to a gnomish deity named Nimbists, which exploded, as gnomish temples do from time to time, destroying an entire section of the broken wall. And before the then king could repair it, the dwarves and gnomes of the city, because the king didn't want the expenditure, was looking for a way to get out of repairing the wall. The dwarves and gnomes of the city, which reside just outside of the Gnome Town gate here, essentially said there's no reason to rebuild this one section of wall. You've got high cliffs on one end and our entire fortifications outside the walls. This is not a security issue. This is not a breach. What this enabled to do is a little fishing village that had been built up outside along the cliffs had a kind of impromptu gate into the city. This all happened well over 100 years ago. The temple has not been rebuilt, but it's been organized. Like, the rubble and stuff has been stacked up and organized, and it still works as a temple to Nimbists.
I feel like this was also somehow the fault of the people from Flumph 1.0.
What is it?
No.
When you think about it,
I'm just gonna blame everything on Zook because he's not here.
smart.
There's a man named Captain Benjamin. He's a cantankerous old coot, and he has the title the Boss of Broken Wall. He's not an official boss in any capacity, but he's the man that gets things done in Broken Wall. Like, nothing happens in the little fishing village outside that escapes his notice. And at the very tip of Broken Wall, way out here, stands a statue of Zerbo. Zerbo is Osprum's consort, also a deity of ocean life and also maritime trade, revered especially by pirates. So what do you guys think about how you're going to spend the night canvassing Broken Wall? We're going to take a 15-minute break. I'm going to put Elizagirth on screen. You guys go ahead and get your coffee, get your bagel, and we will reconvene a little bit after 5.